Hey good people from the VC, Big Star 1000s, with a new installment of the now weekly Revolutions, number 16, a series focusing on recent plays and recent playlists. Um, I've got a stack of record there next to me, probably about 15 things that I've played this week, that I've enjoyed, that I've revisited, and revisited being the key word here because I am doing a vinyl challenge for 2 months from the 1st of November to the 1st of January, um, as I explained in a previous video. So it's been 2 weeks. It's not really that hard to do. The great thing is you don't have to catch up with new things that you've bought, which is really refreshing, because when you buy records all the time, receive records all the time, you just try to listen to those and kind of neglect what you've got on your shelf. And with this, I'm just pulling out all sorts of things that I haven't pulled out for a while. It's great. It's just really fantastic. Anyway, you don't want to hear me babble for 10 minutes about it. So I'll start now. Just before I was making this video, I was playing this Latin monster, absolute monster, Irakere. I think it's just called Live, is it? Or no, it's called Irakere. It's a live record. It's on Columbia or CBS or whatever it's on. Yeah, CBS I think, or Columbia, it's the same thing. 1979, it's a US press. Irakere are a Latin funk band from, well, they're a salsa band, but really it's Latin jazz, Latin funk as well, from Cuba. They're Cuba's really premier kind of best known band, if you wish, if you will, sorry. And this is stellar. It's so visceral and just an excellent record. Lots of horns. Well, that's what you hear on the record mostly. It's Latin horns, salsa horns. Just brilliant. Highly recommended. And right before that, I was playing this little MPS number. I don't think it's a well-known record. I don't know. I found this in my local op shop, which, if you don't live in Australia, an op shop is like a thrift store or a charity shop or a second shop, whatever you want to call it, Salvation Army type of thing. I found this for $1. It was probably 6 months ago or something. It's Art Farmer Quintet featuring Jimmy Heath. It's on MPS, BASF, MPS. Yes, MPS in the charity shop. And this is fantastic as well. It's like kind of a post-bop session. Just really excellent sort of, post-bop jazz, and it's on MPS, so you can't argue with that. It's brilliant. And this week I've played this following record 2 or 3 times. I was enjoying it so much. I pulled it out of my shelf, first time in probably a year, and I put it on, and straight away I thought, wow, this is a great record. Cold Blood, with the album Sisyphus. Cold Blood are a sort of psychedelic soul band. I think they're from San Francisco, if I'm right, or maybe LA. No, San Francisco, it does even say that. They're fronted by this girl called Linda Pence. There she is. So what you've got is some real psychedelic soul. Really fine album. If you're into soul music, if you're into West Coast psych, imagine the two mingled together to perfection. This is on Atlantic. This is from the year 1970, I think, and it's got a really classic sort of cover. I think it's meant to represent the myth of Sisyphus, whereby Sisyphus was sentenced to roll this rock up up a mountain, and the rock would roll down every day, and he'd have to do the same thing. Bloody Greeks. Anyway, hello Andres. I'll move on. And this is a monster record as well. I don't think I have too much to say about this. I played this yesterday, and again I was floored. It's Solar Plexus by Ian Carr with Nucleus. This is UK jazz rock. This is not an original pressing on Vertigo. I am not made of money. I wish. It's a nice reissue on a label called Timeless. It's very well done. It's super thick. It looks like a US press. It's really well pressed. It's from 1971, and it's Ian Carr. He's on trumpet. You've got Kenny Wheeler on this. You've got Chris Spedding on guitar. You've got, and it's a who's who of British jazz rock. And it's a brilliant record. It's amazing. I highly recommend this record. You can find a reissue of this, I think. Still, you can still find it if you want it. It's still there. Okay, moving on. You'll see two covers that look almost identical. I was showing you this before, but it's got a bit of a pattern there. And this is John Martin's Solid Air. What to say about this record? It's a masterpiece. It's essential. Everybody should own a copy of it. I don't know, what can I say? It's just a masterful record. From, I mean, it's just iconic. It's just like, it screams iconic. Look at this cover. I mean, the title track is off the charts, literally. And although not necessarily my favorite track on it, I Don't Want to Know is a big favorite of mine, with Fender Rhodes solo in the middle. And what kills you on this is sort of jazz folk atmospherics that just seep through. I guess largely due to the work of Danny Thompson on double bass, which just really brings the whole thing to, I mean, John Ra or John Eggert, your bass thread, you can put this album in quite easily. 1973 on Island Records. I love the Island label. I just always loved this label. It's produced some of the best music, and I think Solid Air title track is a tribute to Nick Drake, which is how I came to it in the very early 2000s. I just heard that song and knew about Nick Drake, and this is a fantastic post-rock record that was playing earlier today. This is Papa M, live from a shark cage. This is on Drag City. There's nothing much to say, but isn't that interesting? You open this sort of stark black, entirely, almost, it looks like Unknown Pleasures, like the Joy Division, that with the pattern in the middle, and then you open it and you get this bright orange gatefold with nothing in it. It's I love the concept of this. Papa M is Dave Pajo from Slint, Tortoise, etc. And this is one of his aliases, and this is his best album, Make No Mistake. Really, it is the most accomplished. It's all instrumental post-rock from 1999, Drag City. What else can I say? It's brilliant. Another brilliant record. This is Steve Reed with Nova. Steve Reed was sadly departed, a brilliant jazz drummer, and he made a string of really cult records, which sort of fall in the realm of spiritual jazz, broadly speaking. And this is one of his best efforts. It's just brilliant from start to finish. Really, it's really deep, and it's kind of funky as well in parts. Nova, this is from 1976. This is a reissue on Universal Sound, which is basically soul jazz records, which is how you can get it. I think. I don't think getting an original of this would be a very easy task, and that's why I've got this, because a few months back, maybe it was a year ago or so, I went to a Leonard Cohen concert, and I got myself into a Leonard Cohen complete obsession, you know. I mean, I was already obsessed with Leonard Cohen before going to the concert, but the concert sort of reinforced everything that I expected. And about 3 weeks ago, I bought a book about Leonard Cohen, and I got back into Leonard Cohen again in a sort of huge way of just sort of unhealthy obsession with the man. But this is what I was playing this week. I'm Your Man, which is a brilliant record, really, from start to finish. This album is a quintessential example of why, you know, 80s production, you know, which is very often sort of mocked and just picked on. People say, oh, you know, it's 80s sound. It doesn't really mean anything. I mean, when the songs are good, when the songs are brilliant, production, you know, you can forget about it. With this, it's very like synth heavy, like, you know, there's a lot of artificial drums, there's a lot of, but the songs are so just brilliant that it doesn't really matter in the end, you know what I mean? It's 1988, and if you haven't heard Everybody Knows, or Ain't No Cure for Love, or, you know, Tower Song, then do yourself a favor, just hear them. It's essential. Okay, a few more. I was talking about spiritual jazz with Steve Reed, another masterpiece of the genre is Eddie Gale, Black Rhythm Happening. Just a stellar record, brilliant from start to finish. Really excellent. 1969. Yes, it was originally released on Blue Note, 1969. Eddie Gale, and a couple more great sort of, you know, great black music, I'll call it. And this is the debut Curtis Mayfield. I don't think I need to introduce this very much. It's just a spectacular record. It's got hits, you know, Move On Up, and Don't Worry If There's a Hell Below, We're All Gonna Go. Brilliant. 1970 Curtain record, and this also is a masterpiece. This is on PM. Elvin Jones is on the mountain with Jan Hammer and Gene Perla. Just a really great jazz fusion record from Elvin Jones from the year 1975, who basically was John Coltrane's drummer on Love Supreme, which you tend to forget how great that man's contribution was to music. Man, I was really digging this post-punk record a couple of days ago. Susie and the Banshees, The Scream. This is an original press from the UK. It's just a great sort of goth punk, post-punk record. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I highly recommend this record. Susie and the Banshees of Script, 1979, from the UK. I think Susie and Budgie were from Bromley, from the same place as Johnny Rotten, Sex Pistols. It was a little Australian jazz obscurity. Just played this a few times. Like, it's not the greatest record in the world, however, it's really good. It's by the Steve Murphy Quartet, and it's called Direct because it was recorded direct to disc. It's basically, it has a real Blue Note feel. It's all Hammond driven. It's just all Hammond basically. When you play the first song, it sounds a bit cheesy, a bit sort of, you know, cocktail bar type of music. But if you let this record play, if you let it go, and you just sort of forget about it a bit, it just gets into a groove. You know, once it's one of those records that it just loses itself into a groove. And this what does. This what does. Drumming is great. The Hammond playing is superb. It's sort of an unknown sort of little buried treasure of Aussie jazz. I like this record. It's good. I mean, it may not be to everybody's taste, but it's a good record. I like it enough to play it and to keep it in my collection. This is something that Chris 4127 Basket turned me on to when I met him in Switzerland. He put this record in my hands, but I didn't buy it that day. I left it behind, and I bought it, and I found another copy when I came back to Australia. This is Lainey Hall, Sundown Lady. She is Herb Halpert's wife, and she was singing backing vocals in Sergio Mendes' band in the 60s, 70s. And this is like a lovely kind of, you know, folky, soul, pop kind of record. There's some really great cuts. Love Song, the opening song. Sundown is great. Ocean Song is fantastic. So it's got some really great highlights. It's from 1972 on A&M, which is Herb Halpert's label, basically. And I'll finish off with two absolute classics. Do I need to talk about the debut Sabbath record? No, probably not. I love the inside. It's brilliant. It's really cool that I was playing this. And finally, one of the treasures from my collections, I think, from my collection, in my opinion, and my namesake, Big Star, #1 record. This is an original press on Ardent Record, which I bought quite a few years back. I read in an interview that Alex Chilton himself didn't have an original press of his first record, which is hilarious when you think about it. It's one of the greatest sort of rock records from the 70s, full stop, and it's me. I took my name, Big Star 1000, from this band, Big Star, because I used to love listening to Big Star a few years back. Not so much now, but still love this record. 1972 on Ardent Records. Fantastic record. Anyway, I'll stop here. Hope you have fun watching this, and if you can leave me some comments, and that'll be cool if you want.